My name is Neil McIver. I'm a native of Plymouth. I was born in the Lakes Region General Hospital in April 22nd, 1950. But I've lived my entire life in Plymouth, except for when I was away at UNH and when I was going to school at Widener University in Philadelphia. After living in the big city for 4 years, I really grew to appreciate the town of Plymouth, and I wanted to come back and live here for the rest of my life. And as soon as I did get back, I became involved in town government and served on the planning board, I think starting in 1976. And I also became involved in campaigning. My dad went to Norwich University. He was an Army captain in the 10th Mountain Division in World War II, and actually he was a very stern disciplinarian. He served the town of Plymouth for many, many years as a physician, and he instilled in me the importance of good citizenship and being involved. Actually, when I became eligible to vote, I voted back in the early 70s, and I've never missed an election since I first started. I voted in every single election. Later on, I was elected to the state legislature. I served 3 terms, and I was on the Municipal County Government Committee, the Constitutional Revision Committee, and the House Resources Committee. I have very strong interest in resources. In college, I studied biology and earth science, and I also studied history and government. I earned a bachelor's degree at Plymouth State, and I earned a Juris Doctorate at Widener University. I worked for Congressman Lewis Wyman for a couple of years. I was down in Washington, I was in New Hampshire. I served on multiple committees, boards, and commissions in Plymouth because I really love the town. I wanted to know as much as I could about how the town operated, and wanted to see that citizens got the best representation possible. I served many years on the planning board and the Conservation Commission. I'm still actively involved with the Conservation Commission. I served on the zoning board, where I served as chairman at one point before I became a selectman. I was on the budget committee and the cemetery trustee. I was elected to that, and a number of other committees. I was on the airport commission. I have a great interest in the airport because it was given, much of the land for the airport was given to the town by my family. And I live right nearby. I live on, I guess you'd call it the corner of Fairground and Quincy Road. I live way back on the back side of the field. And I have a farm. We have some horses. I have a maple orchard, and I'm working on a fish farm. We used to have a big dairy operation. I went to UNH and studied soil science and wetlands management, and ultimately I earned Army Corps of Engineers certification in wetland science and EPA certification in erosion control and sediment control and stormwater management. I worked for an engineering company out of Bedford for a number of years doing EPA compliance on interstate highways and bridges, and I became a licensed septic system designer and installer, and I'm also a licensed evaluator of septic systems. And I'm very committed to clean water. I feel that clean water and clean air are of paramount importance. You just can't allow people to subvert the quality of our air and water for their own personal benefit financially. We need to maintain the highest technical standards possible to keep our soils and our water and air healthy and clean. I was elected to the Select Board in 2013 and then re-elected again in, I guess it was 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I served 2 terms. The last year of my second term, I developed a condition which I needed to had to relieve the stress I was under, so I resigned from the board. But with good medical care, I am in excellent health now, and I feel that the town is at a juncture where we need to reassess how our town hall is functioning, and we need to re-examine how we deal with the impending growth that we are facing in our community. We've had major changes with the university. The university is struggling, and we really need to have a relationship where we're working closer together. I would like to see the town working with the faculty and students and the administration to develop solutions for many of the problems that we have. And I know from many of my friends who went to school at Plymouth that many students really would like to stay in this community and contribute to the well-being of the community. We have an opportunity right now to reformulate the Select Board and develop a unified team. Each one of us has a diverse background and expertise, but we're all equals, and the Select Board needs to be in complete control of Town Hall, and I see that as a major issue at this time. We need to have more information sharing and more transparency in the actions of the town, and the role of the town administrator or town manager and other officials need to be more clearly defined in the decision-making process. I appreciate this opportunity to address the citizens of Plymouth, and I look forward to seeing you on Election Day.